Let's look at the sales funnel and how it relates to search queries. This is very helpful for search engine optimization because you can learn something about where someone is in the sales funnel by the types of queries that they make. Let's begin, however, with a brief introduction to the sales funnel itself. The sales funnel often consists of three phases called top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. The purchase icon here on this graph shows what would be whatever goal you want the person to complete. If you're an e-commerce site or a brick and mortar business, then maybe purchase literally means buying something at your site or buying something at your store. However, if you're a nonprofit, maybe purchase just simply means signing up for an event or volunteering. When we think of people in the top of the funnel relates to people defining their challenge. So they have a problem or they have some kind of intent and they're just looking to define it. So imagine that you are going to a wedding and you're trying to figure out what kind of clothing to wear based upon the weather. You know, you're looking for ideas, you're doing question type queries. Middle of the funnel is where someone has transitioned into where they're comparing different options. So they've defined their problem. Now they're looking at different options and refining those options based upon whatever criteria is relevant to them. It might be price, it might be proximity, or availability of different types of products. When people transition into the bottom of the funnel is where they're looking at different solutions specifically. So they've decided on what their decision criteria are, and now they're looking at maybe different brands or different options. Do I build this myself, or do I have someone come and build it for me? Do I try to fix my bathroom, or do I hire someone to fix my bathroom? Those are very bottom of the funnel kinds of behaviors. So that is the sales funnel, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. And we might ask ourselves, how is this relevant to search engine optimization? Why are we talking about the sales funnel? Well, the reason is because almost everyone begins their purchase process using search queries. That is, they are Googling or Binging stuff and trying to learn about the different solution that they're seeking prior to ever making contact with a brand. So by the time that someone actually reaches out to a brand or has a brand experience, they've traveled down that sales funnel quite a ways. And so we need to take that into account. So the interesting thing is that we can tell based upon search behaviors kind of where people are within the sales funnel. So if we look at different queries, that is, we look at different search engine result pages, we can actually see maybe where people are. So in the top of the funnel, people are often querying things that are either question formats. They tend to have very low technical language. They're not using the correct terms. So if you're in a highly technical field, the kinds of queries that people are using as they're trying to learn about their problem are not going to use the correct technical language. And there tends to be lower competition in the top of the funnel queries. You're not going to see a lot of ads because it's just harder to target those people because it's such broad types of queries. In the middle of the funnel, the types of queries that occur become more like comparisons. So this option versus that option, or compare these two options. That's very middle of the funnel types of queries. And if you search for something like that, you're going to see a middle of the funnel kind of result. You'll start noticing that ads begin showing up in the search engine result pages in middle of the funnel queries. Bottom of the funnel queries, search queries, tend to be very branded. There tends to be a lot of ads showing up and much higher competition purely because it's so close to the purchase. So when things are close to the purchase, it tends to have more competition. More people are vying for those bottom of the funnel search queries. And we can illustrate this with an example. So here's a very kind of, maybe tail case example, but let's say that we have a house and we want to widen our driveway. And before we begin widening our driveway, we're not sure whether or not we need special permits for that. Okay, so just imagine this use case. Here I'm going down the sales funnel for this. I need to build a driveway. Okay, in the top of the funnel, the questions are very much like, I don't know what my problem is, right? What if my driveway crosses someone else's land? Is that a problem? Do I need special permits for that? Like, what should I do about that? In the middle of the funnel, we'd see things that I start using technical language. I start using the correct terminology where I say, oh, you know what, I either need a right of way for my neighbor, or maybe we need to talk about getting an easement. You're not going to see that kind of terminology often in the top of the funnel because it's considered more technical language, right? And then in the bottom of the funnel, that's where we're, deciding whether or not we're going to build this driveway ourselves or if we're going to hire somebody else to build the driveway for us. In this case, you can see an example at the top there that says, Sanderson's gravel and driveway contact, right? This is a query that I'm running to find a particular type of business by their name, and I'm looking to contact them, right? I'm very close to actually making that purchase and making a decision. So here again, we see these types of queries taking place. What is the top of the funnel query? It's a question. What is the middle of the funnel type of query? Very classic, is going to be a comparison. And what's the bottom of the funnel type of query? We're going to see branded search queries, a lot more competition for that business. When we think about where SEO works, what we're trying to do, right, is it plays a decent role in placing your brand higher up the funnel. So we could say we are going to try to attract people to our website with these question-based and comparison type queries. Maybe give them a compelling offer, see if we can get their email address, and then move them or nurture them down to the bottom of the funnel. Now they have brand awareness. So SEO plays an important role in attracting and developing brand awareness higher up the funnel, and then bringing them down to the bottom of the funnel where ads become more competitive.